Hey guys, Megan Howe here, coming to you live from Ohio. I am one of the leaders on Tara's team, and I have been with the company for a little over 3 months now, and I am coming to you live today to talk about my story. My story is something that I love sharing about because I know that there are lots of people that struggle with anxiety just like I did. I actually was diagnosed, I was having anxiety way before I was ever diagnosed, but I was having really bad panic attacks. I can remember having them as far back as high school. So I can remember taking in what I thought was a deep breath and not being able to catch it. And my heart was racing and I just didn't understand what was going on. And I was like 15 or 16 at the time. And I just thought, oh, maybe I just ran too fast, or, maybe I just took too big of a breath. And I just remember trying to catch my breath and it just getting worse and worse and worse. And then years went by and I realized that I was having panic attacks. And they weren't too often until I got older. When I got older, more stress got into my life. Being an adult is stressful. And so they got worse. And I just slid the comments off, so if you guys are commenting, I'll catch them when I'm through. I just want to make sure that I don't get sidetracked, and sometimes the comments make me get sidetracked, so I just slid them off. So basically, I have had a severe anxiety disorder my entire life. I have been riddled with anxiety, and anxiety can show up at any time, even when you're having the best of days or the worst of days. It literally can be crippling and debilitating. So for those of you that struggle with it, I feel for you. I completely understand what you're going through, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It can be awful. That being said, I suffered through it until I had my first child. When I had my first child, I was like, okay, I'm not being the mom I want to be. Like, I'm snapping at my kids, or my kid at the time. I had just my son Wesley at the time. I was snapping at him. I didn't have enough patience. I just wasn't being the mom that I thought I was going to be, right, when I had kids. And my mood swings were awful. And I just was having even a hard time getting out of bed. So I went on anxiety meds, and I was on Paxil for 2.5 years. Paxil helped with my anxiety, no doubt. It helped with my anxiety. I was on a really small dose in the beginning, and then of course as you are on medication, especially Paxil, it wears off, and so you have to keep upping your dose. And each time I would get near wearing off on my dose, here would come the panic attacks again. And I don't know if I'm just getting weaker in my old age, but they're worse. Like, now as an adult, they're way worse than they were when I was a teen, in my teens, having them. My panic attacks could last an entire weekend. Like, my chest would just ache after I would come off of one, because they were pounding heart, and I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I was actually on Xanax as well, so when I would get a panic attack, I would have to take a Xanax, and I'd be out for hours, which as a mom, that is horrible, because you could have this really fun day planned, and it would just go to crap because you'd have a panic attack and you'd have no other option. Of course, I would try to fight through it, but on the days that I could afford to take that Xanax, I would definitely take it, and I would pass out for a few hours, and I'd wake up and I'd feel better. But it just wasn't a way to live, right? It wasn't how I thought. Wasn't how I was picturing my life to be. And not to mention the side effects from anti-anxiety medications. The side effects were horrible. I gained weight. I had definite mood swings, so I had way up and down. Like, it was like a roller coaster. My poor husband is a saint. I swear to goodness he is, because I put him through the ringer with my roller coaster of emotions. I also had low libido, which isn't any good, especially when you have 2 kids, and life is already hard, and it's already hard, as a woman, when you have 2 kids, to have medication that's lowering that libido. That's no fun. Not good for your marriage. I had times where I was still struggling to get out of bed. I had times where I just had no drive. Like, I am normally a person with a lot of drive, a lot of enthusiasm. Even when I didn't have it, like even when I didn't feel it, I would put on a show, and that would just be exhausting. So I was fighting a lot of battles, especially, you know, trying to get through the mental fog that I had when I was on those medications. It just didn't feel like myself. And I did it for 2 years. It was about 2.5 years I lasted on my medication. And I remember telling my husband, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it wasn't good for our marriage anymore. We were struggling. We just needed to change. I needed to change personally. Our relationship needed to change. Everything was just falling apart, and I needed something. I was in the same company that my upline Tara was in. You've seen her in here before. And I saw her move to this new company, and I was like, wait a minute. She was a larger leader than I was, and I just thought, you know, what is going on? Like, I need to look more into this product, and I really trusted her. We developed a good relationship over the past couple of years that we were with that company, and so I asked her, and I knew that she had struggled with some anxiety herself, and so I asked her about them, and everything that she was saying was just speaking to me, and I was like, man, I really want to give this a shot. And I'm the type of person that if I'm going to go for something, I'm going to be all in, right? And I'm just going to take off with it. And so I saw the business aspect of it at the same time as the like health aspect, and how this could really change my life if it would even do half of what she said it would do, right? And so I just went ahead and signed up, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sign up and try it, and if I like it, I'm going to run with it. And I actually did my whole journey like on Facebook for everyone to see, right? And so everyone was kind of following with me. So I've been a completely open book about my anxiety and my struggles and my story from the very beginning. And you don't have to be. That's just me and who I am, and I love to share. And if I can share and help somebody, then I'm doing my job. So, with that being said, I was like anticipating. I finally got my coffee. I remember receiving my coffee, and I messaged her, and I was like, I got it. I was so excited. It was like 3 p.m., and I was like, I'm going to try it anyways, because I didn't want to wait another day. I was so excited. So I only did like maybe a third of a scoop of my coffee. I made it like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I remember it was still nice outside. I went outside, and I was watching the kids play, and as I'm sipping on this coffee, as I'm sipping it, now everyone is different. I'm not claiming, I'm not a doctor. I can't fix your problems. I can't promise you anything, but this is my experience. As I'm sipping on it, like I felt something happening. Like I felt it. My mood instantly just like perked up, and I just felt so amazing. Like I felt like even my focus was just like instantly better within a half hour, 45 minutes of drinking it. I felt like I could conquer the freaking world. And I remember messaging her saying, this stuff is amazing. I can't even believe how awesome it is. So I did the coffee for about 2 weeks, and I was still taking my anxiety medication, and I started looking hardcore into the Xanthromax, okay? And that's the happy pill. And I started doing some research on some ingredients that are in it, and the hops that's in this, and the amount that's in it, I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. And the turmeric, sorry, I always say that wrong. The turmeric I knew was a really awesome ingredient that you could put into your body, and it had awesome health benefits. So I thought, you know what, why not? I'm just going to try it. If it's even half as good as the coffee is, like, I'm going to try it. So I went ahead and ordered. As soon as I got it, you know me, I'm full force in. I had actually scheduled a doctor's appointment for the same day that I was going to be receiving this. And so I went to my doctor's, and I talked to him. And I talked to him seriously because, remind you, I was struggling. I was struggling with my medication. I knew it wasn't working for me anymore. I knew my options were to up the dose again or to switch. And I hated the side effects that I was having, and I explained to him like they weren't good for my marriage, they weren't good for me. I didn't want them anymore. So if I was going to be on some sort of medication, it couldn't have given me any of those side effects anymore because I just wasn't dealing with it. And unfortunately, a lot of anxiety medications have the same side effects. They're all going to give you the possibility of waking. They're all going to give you the mental fog. They're all going to give you, low energy or fatigue. And especially if you're someone like me who already has low blood pressure, that's no good. So I talked to him. I took his prescription because, I wanted to have something on the back burner in case this didn't work. So it's actually in my cabinet still. I should have gotten it out so I could show you. I haven't filled it or anything. I still have my old Paxil pills here. I'm going to show you at the very bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? No refill. I haven't taken my medication. I talked to him about weaning myself off of it, and I followed his directions. I do not recommend, and I hope you guys hear me when I say this, I do not recommend you going off of your medication cold turkey. Don't do that. Medication, like anxiety meds, is serious stuff. You can really mess up your mind and go through some struggles that you don't need to go through. That's going to put your body through some things that are just unnecessary, so don't do it. Get help if you're going to go off your medication, and only do it if you're serious and you have your doctor with you, and he knows what you're doing. So I did that. I went off my medication. As I was going off my medication, I started introducing Xanthromax. And so at the time I was riddled with anxiety, right? My medication wasn't working. My anxiety attacks were back. I actually remember one of the last things I did before I went on this Xanthromax was I went to a country concert with some friends of mine, and I basically had a panic attack the entire time I was there. I tried to fight through it and have fun, but it was just an awful experience, and I was like basically at my wit's end. So my anxiety attacks were back. My anxiety was like ever so high, and I was trying it. I was like going off my medication at the absolute worst time, right? So I went off my medication, downstepped it, taking Xanthromax the whole time. As soon as I started taking this, first of all, I started noticing that my insomnia was going away. And everyone is different. First of all, I just want to say I take my Xanthromax at night because it really calms me and puts me to sleep. And I get like a full 8 hours sleep. No interruptions, no waking up, no more insomnia. And that is one of the worst parts about anxiety, and what actually makes you go on like this endless spiral going like downwards. It's like a domino effect. The less sleep you get, the more anxiety you get. The more anxiety you get, the even less sleep you get. Like, it just is a horrible thing that has, that's just a side effect of having anxiety. But as soon as I started taking this, my anxiety was stopping. So instantly I was feeling better because I was sleeping. And I started, lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering. Guys, I have been off my anxiety meds for a little over 2 months now. Anybody who has struggled with anxiety knows that is like, that's awesome. I told myself I was not going to cry. But it's really been an awesome experience for me. And I've actually helped some friends of mine with their anxiety. They weren't on medication, but I've helped them. And I can honestly say that since I have tried this, I have not had one single panic attack. I don't have them anymore. I feel great. Let me get myself together here, guys. I feel great. I have lots of mental clarity. I have focus. I want to get out of bed in the morning and drink my happy coffee. Like, I get so excited in the morning to drink it. It's something I actually look forward to. Sorry, guys. So I've been taking my happy coffee. I also do the happy hot chocolate. My kids love the hot chocolate. It's actually a treat for them. And I think it helps with my son. I do think that my son, gets my husband's ADD honest. I'm already seeing some warning signs with him having ADD, and so I think that the hot chocolate actually helps him with focus. And he enjoys it, so why not? There's not the caffeine that there is in the coffee, so it's completely safe to give to kids. It's seriously been life-changing. And if you have at all been thinking about trying it and you suffer at all with anxiety, if it even does half of what it's done for me, you're gonna, like, your mind is literally gonna be blown. It's just amazing. It's an amazing product. You couldn't pay me to stop using it. Like, I wouldn't take any amount of money to stop using it. It's just been completely life-changing for me, not to mention that I have lost 10 pounds in the 3 months, goodness, time has flown, 3 months, a little over 3 months that I've been using it. My husband, however, he's lost 19. He actually was a non-believer of this product. It even took some convincing for me to get him to even try it. But he is completely on board with it now, and I will share about that when I share about my business side of this story. But right now I just wanted to share how it's helped me with my anxiety and my weight loss and my mental health. And one of the things that I love about it is I am consistently in a good mood now. Someone who struggled with anxiety, and sometimes, you know, anxiety has depression side effects as well with it. And I'm in a good mood, and I can manage my anxiety, and I don't have that mental fog or cloud over my head anymore. And that to me is like priceless. So if you guys are thinking about trying this and you're in this group because you are, I would highly recommend contacting the person that put you into this group and go order it. Go do it. Go try it, because your mind is about to be blown, guys. All right, I'm sure you guys are going to see me again soon. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.